We seem to have slipped into the Matrix unaware. It's like it's just sort of happened, you know. Well, it already happened. Like we were just slowly moving into it, and suddenly I've realised that, oh my god, we are actually living in it, you know, some sort of Matrix type world. What I'm saying is that reality seems to be a subjective thing right now, and obviously this has been slow brewing. We just hadn't been paying attention enough to. Well, we've been paying attention, but like, you know, I just didn't notice it. And I guess it's like anything, you don't really notice it's going to happen. It sort of just creeps up, and then suddenly one day it's like, oh shit, it's like this now. And I think that's what's been happening, man. That's what's been happening. No, this technology of being able to map your face and have a filter to change the way you look, I didn't know how widely available it was in video form, especially to be live streaming as this person has been, and to have that. My computer wouldn't be able to handle it. It could barely handle OBS at the moment, let alone have some sort of filter to make myself look even better, which I don't know how that's possible, to be honest. I look great. I don't need this sort of technology, and that's why I don't really pay attention to it too much. People are worried about deep fakes and what the future holds in terms of deep fakes and how it's going to, you know, affect fake news and the narrative and blah, 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 you know, deep fakes. All be scared of the deep fakes. It's like, do you know what? Like, forget about it. It's already happening. We're already living in false reality. Too much of our world, our world view and our perceptions of things, and a lot of our experience comes from media anyway, from the news, from drama, movies, you know. We've already got a fake perception of how things are. You know, we've got a romanticized interpretation of what love is, you know, what having a relationship is, when really relationships are hard work. Yeah, they're extremely hard work. You gotta work at them. Maybe that's why the divorce rates are so bad. You know, maybe pre Hollywood, it was better. You know, until we had this sort of silly romanticized version of what a relationship should be, and what a love affair should be. And then we got into our heads that, well, I haven't got that. My love life isn't like, my wife isn't like that. We didn't have that moment in Crocodile Dundee when my husband walked across people's hands to give me a smooch on the subway and everyone stopped and was cheering. You know, maybe, you know, I think that twisted our perception of reality. You know, reality TV, which isn't real. It twisted our perception of reality. You know, from the Instagram models to photoshopping, you know, to just the false sense of what reality actually is just getting more twisted and more twisted and more twisted. That's what I was saying about, you know, you got the AI Instagram stars, you know, how are they any more fake than the real ones, who are using copious amount of filters and photoshopping anyway to present a full state of reality? We live in times where the news is full of so much, you know, there's no objective news for starters. It's always from this point of view or from that point of view, left or right. There's nothing objective in any news. There's not one news outlet I can think of, you know, that's properly objective. There's no objective news. So therefore we don't have any objective view of what's happening, of the people that lead us, the people we're supposed to vote for, you know, all this stuff. It's all twisted. And each side going, well, you know, Facebook ads was manipulating people's brains. Their brains was being manipulated by Facebook ads to vote this way. It's like, that comes from the media. It's like, well, hang on. You manipulate people's brains. Half, you know, some of you support Remain, some of you support Leave. The fucking newspapers. So who gives a fuck what Facebook ads are being shoved in someone's face? You're pumping this shit into people on a daily basis. It's fucking the cheek of it to have a go at Facebook when you're doing the same thing. There's no objectivity to you. You know, you've got a fucking agenda. Like, so some people bought some ad space because they wanted something to happen. It's called fucking advertising. You know, pushing all fake news. You know, one thing that Donald Trump says means something else to someone else. You know, there's no truth. There's no real. It's very hard to tell what the fucking truth is. There's so many smear campaigns against people, taking things out of context. We can take things out of context these days, even though we have access to everything. You know, where's the hope there? Do you know what I mean? Look at the Covington kids thing, or anything that just like, they'll just a little soundbite here, even though, and this is what happened. When they chop up a video, chop up some audio, we can go listen to the full audio. We can go watch the full video, and yet the narrative gets spun of the fakeness. You know, they've taken out a context bit. The lie is bigger than the fucking truth, even though we have access to it. We have access to the fucking truth. So we do. We live in a fucking false reality right now, because who isn't plugged in? Who isn't on the internet? Who isn't watched, and who doesn't watch television? Do you know what I mean? We're so fucking removed from reality, it's untrue. Like we're just, you know, we see everything through some sort of lens. And here you go, and this is, this is it. You know, so at first it's like going, oh my god, I can't believe she's doing that and getting away with that. It's like, well, of course, why not? How's it any different to anything else? It's all fake. Do you know what I mean? So what happened? A Chinese vlogger, he used a filter to look younger, caught in live stream glitch. Right, she does look incredibly different. But then in the you know, the picture on the second photo, picture on the right, just kind of looked like an anime sex bot. So I'm not sure if anyone's thinking, well, that's really her. Fans of popular Chinese video blogger called herself Your Highness Qiao Biliuo, have been left stunned after a technical glitch during one of her live streams revealed her to be a middle-aged woman and not the young, glamorous girl they thought her to be. The revelation has led to discussions about standards of beauty across the country's social media platforms. The blogger, who initially boasted a follower count of more than 100,000 on Do You, is believed to have used the filter on her face during her appearances and had been renowned for her sweet and healing voice. China's Global Times said she had been worshipped as a cute goddess by some members of her loyal audience, and some fans even giving her more than 100,000 yuan. She's about $40,000, £11,000. Jesus. I mean, that's the thing. Are you going to feel duped when you spend that money? You know, I mean, was it the face that you were just interested in? Was it the soothing voice? Do they have the right to ask for the money back because they feel they've been defrauded? But have they been defrauded? No, probably not. However, live streaming platform Lychee News says the incident happened on the 25th of July during a joint live stream with another user, King Z, on the Do You platform. The Global Times reports that all was as normal and that her fans urged her to show her face and remove her filter, but she refused. Instead, apparently saying, I can't show my face until I receive gifts worth 100,000 yuan. After all, I'm a good-looking host. Followers began to send her donations, with the largest reported to be 40,000 yuan during the session. However, at some point, it seems the filter being used by the vlogger stopped working and her real face became visible to viewers. She was reported to have noticed only when people who had signed up to a VIP access room started exiting en masse. Now that's not got to feel good, has it? But then again, if you base your whole thing on a look that isn't real, people exit en masse. But then, isn't that 90% of Instagram models anyway? So, you know, you know, I don't know. Many of her original followers, especially men, are said to have stopped following her and withdrawn their transactions after seeing her true identity. Well, there you go. It's a false reality. You should have known it was a false reality anyway, but now they're like, it turns out that people are shallow. People are shallow as fuck. Well, I didn't expect people to be completely shallow like that. It surprises me so much. Most commentators said her followers were gullible, superficial, and deserved to be tricked into partying with their cash gifts without first verifying her identity. Users on both Billy and YouTube have captured the footage. Kiao Beliu, not sure if I'm saying that correctly, but blow me, has since suspended her platform according to the Weibo users who are debating the impact of what happens. Some users are saying it's good riddance to her for conning people out of their money, but others question the IQ of men throwing money at her. I mean, there's arguments for both sides, isn't there? There really is. There's arguments for both sides. Some will feel like they've been deceived. Others will be like, well, you're just chucking money at a person because you think they look a certain way. If it's just because of the way they look, I mean, I don't know. I've never seen her content. I don't speak Chinese. I don't know. I don't know how good her content is. I don't know how entertaining she is. But if it's all just based on the way you look, can't be very good. Do you know what I mean? If she's just there going, that's why you get those live streamers, girls who, just, get their tits out or twerk and stuff, whatever they're doing, at least, that's one thing just based on looks and no entertainment value, because, people just like getting hard-ons, don't they? Some users are saying it's good. Anyway, some users are more sympathetic, asking people not to judge her by her appearance, noting that her popularity came from her voice and that she might have to seek therapy after the backlash. It's like, well, you must have seen this coming. You know what I mean? You went into this with open eyes. I mean, some people have great voices, and there's many YouTubers who never reveal their faces. Who've got great voices. As Colossal is crazy, although he has revealed his face recently, but he didn't for ages because his voice is so. His voice is pretty spectacular when it comes. You don't need to see his face. The whole point, I think the best thing was not seeing his face. Obviously, live streaming is a bit different, but anyway. And some are praising the other live streamer, King Z, who showed no reaction to Key Beliu's face being revealed. The story has been incredibly popular across Chinese social networks, and more than 600 million people reading posts that use a hashtag, which translates to female vlogger experiences a bug showing her old lady face. This is so blunt. I mean, I'm sure it's just the way it translates doesn't sound good. Some things don't translate well. I've been discovering this a lot. Like, being with someone recently who doesn't speak too much English. Enough though, but constantly exchanging messages, and then you translate it proper as matter of fact, and it's like, the fuck? You still have to go, yeah. It's like every day's a mystery to unravel. That's what I can say. It's like trying to solve a puzzle sometimes. Like, well, I kind of get it, but what the fuck again? Showing her old lady face. Anyway, China has more than 425 million live streamers. Jesus Christ. That's 425 million live streamers in China. What? What? And the use of face filters is something that is common across the myriad of social platforms. Countries are extremely nervous about the growing popularity of live streaming. I bet they are. Broadcast media in China is tightly controlled, and with the exception of news coverage, footage on TV needs weeks of approval before it can be aired. Live streamers are discouraged from broadcasting in a public sphere and are extremely restricted on what they can say. Expressing their opinions could result in a backlash from the authorities if the content is deemed to be politically sensitive or against government rhetoric. They also have to be careful that they are not seen to be vulgar. Consequently, many live streamers simply sing karaoke in their bedrooms or eat snacks for hours on end. Well, that's no surprising there. It is East Asia. And the highly lucrative industry is saturated by young female users who will go to extreme lengths to stand out. I'd like to see those extreme lengths. In another twist, the attention the story attracted means that although Xiao Biliu stopped live streaming after the incident, her Do You profile page now has 650,000 followers. It must be hard to get 650,000 followers when there's 425 million fucking live streamers in China. Oh, that blows my fucking mind. Well, look, there's some fun and giggles there, but look, we are living in the age of deception. We're in it. This is the dystopian future. We're in it. We are here. This is it. We are here. We're already here. How's it working out for you? You enjoying yourself? You enjoying not knowing what the fuck reality is? I'm going to cart myself off to the loony bin with the rest of them. I reckon they're living a realer truth than any of us. I just want to be involved.